4 feet. Also for the Ohio River, Pittsburgh was at 6. You're listening to NOAA Weather Radio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on a frequency of 162.55 megahertz. The preceding tone signals were a test of the alarm device of this weather radio station. During potentially dangerous weather situations, specially built receivers will be automatically activated by these tones to warn of impending hazards. Tests of these receivers are conducted by the National Weather Service between 11 a.m. and 12 noon on each Wednesday. This radio station, KIH 35, serves the following counties in western Pennsylvania: Allegheny, Armstrong, Beaver, Butler, Fayette, Greene, Indiana, Lawrence, Washington, and Westmoreland. And, in northern West Virginia, Brooke, Hancock, Marshall, and Ohio. And finally, in east central Ohio, Columbiana County. The National Weather Service now returns to our regular broadcast. Here is the River Report.
About damn time you guys did fucking shit. Like, jeez Louise.
The following is a high wind warning. West, southeast winds 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 60 miles per hour expected. Where? In Pennsylvania, higher elevations of Fayette, higher elevations of Westmoreland, and higher elevations of Indiana counties. In West Virginia, eastern Preston, eastern Tucker, Preston, ridges of eastern Monongalia and northwestern Preston, and western Tucker counties. When? From 1 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday. Impacts, damaging winds will blow down trees
and
and
there
power
goes
lines.
WHC.
Widespread power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult. Southeast winds 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts. Please report 60 miles per hour lines or large branches by calling 412-262-1988. Posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh. Eastern Preston, eastern Tucker, Preston, ridges of eastern Monongalia and northwestern Preston and western Tucker counties.
Doubleheader, y'alls.
When? From 1 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday. Impacts, damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Power outages are expected.
There we go.
Travel will be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. The following is a high wind warning. West, southeast winds 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts up to 60 miles per hour expected. Where? Indiana and Westmoreland counties. When? From 1 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday. Impacts, damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. Please report down trees, power lines, or large branches by calling 412-262-1988, posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page, or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh. Weather message.
All right.
For the following counties.
All right. Well, that's all in terms of PBZ. Now we have to wait for CTP because they have a flood watch. And it didn't go over WXM 33 yet. Because as you can see, it's for Bedford County. But, you know, nothing yet. But, yeah, we'll see about that.
For the following counties in Pennsylvania, Cambria, and Somerset. Winter storm warning in effect until 3 p.m. this afternoon. West, snow mixing with sleet and changing to rain. Additional snow accumulations of up to 2 inches, bringing storm total accumulations to 4 to 8 inches. Winds gusting as high as 40 miles an hour. Where? Cambria and Somerset counties. When? Until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Impacts, plan on slippery road conditions. Gusty winds could bring down tree branches. Additional details, snow will continue heavy at times through midday before changing to sleet and rain in most locations by early afternoon. Expect the greatest snow accumulations in the higher elevations. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation and Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission strongly encourage motorists to heed all travel restrictions and delay unnecessary travel, and significant winter weather conditions will make travel very hazardous. Call 511 or visit www.511pa.com for the latest travel, roadway, and traffic conditions. To report snow or ice, post to the National Weather Service State College Facebook page. Use Twitter at NWS State College or visit weather.gov/CTP. Weather message. For the following counties in Pennsylvania: Allegheny, Armstrong, Beaver, Butler, Clarion, Forest, Greene, Jefferson, Lawrence, Mercer, Venango, and Washington, and the following counties in West Virginia: Brooke, Hancock, Marion, Marshall, Monongalia, Ohio, and Wetzel. Wind advisory now in effect until 7 p.m. Wednesday. What? Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Where? Portions of northwest, southwest, and western Pennsylvania and the northern panhandle of West Virginia. When? Until 7 p.m. Wednesday. Impacts: gusty winds will blow around unsecured objects. Tree limbs could be blown down and a few power outages may result. Winds this strong can make driving difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. Use extra caution. Secure outdoor objects. Please report downed trees, power lines, or large branches by calling 412-262-1988, posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page, or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh. Flood warning in effect until 12:15 a.m. Wednesday. What? Flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected. Where? Portions of New Jersey, including the following counties: Trenton and Mercer, and Pennsylvania, including the following counties: Berks, Bucks, Lehigh, and Montgomery. When? Until 12:15 a.m. Wednesday. Impacts: flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying and flood-prone locations is imminent or occurring. Additional details: at 6:13 p.m., Doppler radar indicated heavy rain. Flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly in the warned area. Between 0.5 and 1.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches are possible in the warned area. Some locations that may experience flooding: Allentown, Reading, Bethlehem, Ewing, Pottstown, Emmaus, Wyomissing, Northampton, Quakertown, Percy, Barron, and Bedminster. http://www.weather.gov/safety/ flood turnaround. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be especially cautious at night when it is harder to recognize the dangers of flooding. Please report observed flooding to local emergency services or law enforcement and request they pass this information to the National Weather Service when you can do so safely. Here are the 6 p.m. conditions in the Harrisburg area. In Harrisburg, rain was flood warning in effect until late tomorrow evening. What? Minor flooding is forecast. Where? Yellow Bridges Creek near Camp Hill. When? Until late tomorrow evening. Impacts: at 7.0 feet, low-lying areas near Green Lane Farms development on the right bank of Yellow Bridges Creek begin to flood. A mobile home park near Williams Grove is also
Tuesday, the stage was 6.1 feet. Forecast. The creek is expected to rise above flood stage around midnight tonight to a crest of 7.4 feet tomorrow morning. It will then fall below flood stage tomorrow afternoon. Flood stage is 7.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning in effect until 2:30 a.m. Wednesday. What? Flooding caused by rain and snowmelt is occurring. Where? A portion of central Pennsylvania, including the following counties: Adams, Cumberland, and Franklin. When? Until 2:30 a.m. Wednesday. Impacts. Streams continue to rise quickly due to excess runoff from earlier rainfall and some snowmelt. It will take several hours for all the water to work through local drainage systems in urban areas. Additional details. At 8:29 p.m., local law enforcement reported flooding in the warned area. Flooding is already occurring. Up to 2 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts up to 0.1 inches are possible in the warned area. The heavy rain is ending. Larger creeks and rivers are also rising, but will take a few more hours to exceed their banks. Some locations that will experience flooding include Harrisburg, Chambersburg, Carlisle, Lower Allen, Hanover, Waynesboro, Mechanicsburg, Camp Hill, Gettysburg, New Cumberland, Parkville, Enola, Shippensburg, Lemoyne, Greencastle, and St. Thomas. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood turnaround. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be especially cautious at night when it is harder to recognize the dangers of flooding. Steady rain across the eastern two-thirds of Pennsylvania will continue overnight, with additional accumulation. Flood warning in effect until 4 a.m. Wednesday replaces flood advisory. What? Flooding caused by rain and snowmelt is expected. Where? A portion of central Pennsylvania, including the following counties: Dauphin, Lancaster, Lebanon, Erie, Schuylkill, and York. When? Until 4 a.m. Wednesday. Impacts. Streams continue to rise quickly due to excess runoff from earlier rainfall. Expect many areas of slow-moving or standing water. Local emergency officials have reported water rescues. It will take several hours for all the water to work through local drainage systems in urban areas. Additional details. At 9:23 p.m., rain and snowmelt is occurring and is causing flooding. Between 1 and 2.5 inches of rain have fallen. The heaviest rain is ending, but light additional showers are possible tonight. Additional rainfall amounts up to 0.1 inches are possible in the warned area. Some locations that will experience flooding include Lancaster, Harrisburg, York, Lebanon, Landingville, Hanover, Pottsville, Hershey, Ephrata, Elizabethtown, Millersville, Camp Hill, Willow Street, and Mount Joy. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood turnaround. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be especially cautious at night when it is harder to recognize the dangers of flooding. Here is the latest National Weather Service forecast for Erie, Cumberland, Dauphin, and
Antonio Cerri, did I tell you? Perfect stuff.
Weather message. Flood warning now in effect until 4 a.m. Wednesday. What? Urban area and small stream flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues. Where? A portion of east central Ohio, including the following counties, Monroe and Noble. When? Until 4 a.m. Wednesday. Impacts. Streams continue to rise due to excess runoff from earlier rainfall. Additional details. At 9:37 p.m., gauge reports indicated heavy rain. Flooding is already occurring in the warned area. Between 1 and 1.3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 0.1 to 0.3 inches are possible in the warned area. Some locations that will experience flooding include Dudley, Dexter City, Stafford, and Harreetsville. http://www.weather.gov/safety/. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Stay away or be swept away. River banks and culverts can become unstable and unsafe. Please report observed flooding to local emergency services or law enforcement and request they pass this information to the National Weather Service when you can do so safely.
Thank you for listening to WAHC. We need to interrupt regular programming to activate the emergency alert system. Please stand by.
Warning. Issued at 9:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Flood warning now in effect until 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday. What? Urban area and small stream flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues. Where? A portion of east central Ohio, including the following counties, Monroe and Noble, until 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday. Impacts. Streams continue to rise due to excess runoff from earlier rainfall. Additional details. At 9:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, gauge reports indicated heavy rain. Flooding is already occurring in the warned area. Between 1 and 1.3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 0.1 to 0.3 inches are possible in the warned area. Some locations that will experience flooding include Dudley, Dexter City, Stafford, and Harreetsville. Flood safety information can be found at weather.gov/safety/flood. Turn around. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Stay away or be swept away. River banks and culverts can become unstable and unsafe. Please report observed flooding to local emergency services or law enforcement and request they pass this information to the National Weather Service when you can do so safely. Repeating, the area flood warning has been extended until 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday for the following counties in Ohio, Monroe and Noble.
Weather message. What? Flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected. Where? Ohio River at Pittsburgh. When? From this evening to Thursday evening. Impacts. At 18.0 feet, water begins to flow onto the Monongahela parking wharf. At 19.0 feet, water begins to flow onto the North Shore Riverwalk between the stadiums. Additional details. At 9:30 p.m. Tuesday, the stage was 16.7 feet. Bankville stage is 18.0 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to reach 18 feet by early Wednesday afternoon and continue rising to a crest of 18.9 feet early Thursday morning. The river is expected to fall below 18 feet by Thursday evening. Action stage is 18.0 feet. Flood stage is 25.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood caution is urged when walking near riverbanks. Please report observed flooding to local emergency services or law enforcement and request they pass this information to the National Weather Service when you can do so safely. Additional information is available at weather.gov/. Pittsburgh.
Flood warning in effect until early tomorrow afternoon. What minor flooding is forecast? Where? Sherman Creek at Shermansdale. When? Until early tomorrow afternoon. Impacts at 7.0 feet. River Road is closed upstream of Shermansdale. At 9.0 feet, several homes along Creek Road are affected by high water. Additional details. At 9:15 p.m. Tuesday, the stage was 8.35 feet. Forecast. The creek is expected to rise above flood stage just after midnight tonight to a crest of 9.4 feet early tomorrow morning. It will then fall below flood stage by late morning. Flood stage is 9.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning in effect until early Thursday morning. What minor flooding is forecast? Where? Swatara Creek at Harbor Tavern. When? Until early Thursday morning. Impacts at 9.0 feet. Several driveways and other minor roadways are affected. Water begins to enter some basements. At 10.0 feet, high water isolates several houses. At 12.0 feet, a number of secondary roads are closed, resulting in some evacuations. A few homes are flooded. Additional details. At 9:15 p.m. Tuesday, the stage was 6.3 feet. Forecast. The creek is expected to rise above flood stage late tonight to a crest of 10.9 feet early tomorrow afternoon. It will then fall below flood stage tomorrow night. Flood stage is 9.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning in effect until 4 a.m. Wednesday replaces flood advisory. What flooding caused by rain and snowmelt is expected? Where? A portion of it will then fall below flood stage tomorrow night. Flood stage is 9.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning in effect from Wednesday morning to early Thursday morning. What minor flooding is forecast? Where? Swatara Creek near Hershey. When? From Wednesday morning to early Thursday morning. Impacts at 7.0 feet. The right or north bank begins to overflow. Several roadways upstream of the gauge are affected by high water. At 8.0 feet. The right or north bank overflows. Several roads are affected. Additional details. At 10:01 p.m. Tuesday, the stage was 5.5 feet. Forecast. The creek is expected to rise above flood stage late tomorrow morning to a crest of 7.3 feet early tomorrow afternoon. It will then fall below flood stage late tomorrow evening. Flood stage is 7.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Steady rain across the eastern two-thirds of Pennsylvania will continue overnight, with additional accumulations generally between 1 to 2 inches. This rain, combined with snow melt, may cause flooding on small creeks and streams and should produce significant rises on the larger rivers. A blustery southeasterly wind is expected into tonight, before becoming west. Flood warning in effect from early this morning to this afternoon. What minor flooding is occurring and minor flooding is forecast? Where Schuylkill River at burn? When from early this morning to this afternoon? Impacts at 10.0 feet. Open adjacent land begins to flood between Shoemakersville and Hamburg. At 12.0 feet, Miller Street in Shoemakersville floods. Additional details. At 2 a.m. Wednesday, the stage was 12.1 feet. Recent activity. The maximum river stage in the 24 hours ending at 2 a.m. Wednesday was 12.1 feet. Forecast. The river will rise to a crest of 12.2 feet this morning. Flood stage is 12.0 feet. Flood history. This crest compares to a previous crest of 12.2 feet on December 25th, 2020. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Here are the 2 a.m. conditions in the Harrisburg area. Flood warning in effect from this morning to tomorrow afternoon. What minor flooding is forecast? Where Connet of Gwinnett Creek near Hopestown. When from this morning to tomorrow afternoon. Impacts at 8.0 feet. Low-lying areas in the vicinity of Herbs Bridge Road, Powell Road, Stone Spring Lane, and Oyster Mill Road are flooded. Additional details. At 2:30 a.m. Wednesday, the stage was 7.7 feet. Forecast. The creek is expected to rise above flood stage this morning to a crest of 8.4 feet this evening. It will then fall below flood stage late Thursday morning. Flood stage is 8.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. Flood warning in effect until early tomorrow afternoon. What flood warning in effect from this morning to this evening? What minor flooding is occurring and minor flooding is forecast? Where Conestoga River at Lancaster. When from this morning to this evening. Impacts at 11.0 feet. Drawstown Road will flood. At 13.0 feet, several homes are affected by high water. Additional details. At 7:30 a.m. Wednesday, the stage was 11.0 feet. Recent activity. The maximum river stage in the 24 hours ending at 7:30 a.m. Wednesday was 11.0 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to rise to a crest of 11.7 feet late this morning. It will then fall below flood stage this afternoon. Flood stage is 11.0 feet. Flood history. No available flood history. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood. The Harrisburg, Pennsylvania climate summary for yesterday, January 9th, 2024. Yesterday's high temperature of 59 degrees occurred at 11:49 p.m. This high was 20 degrees above the normal high of 39. Yesterday's low temperature of 30 degrees occurred. Here's the high wind statement for the following county: Bedford, Pennsylvania. High wind warning in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. What? West winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Where? Blair and Bedford counties. When? Until 6 p.m. this evening. Impacts. Damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. People should avoid being outside in forested areas and around trees and branches. If possible, remain in the lower levels of your home during the windstorm and avoid windows. Use caution if you must drive. For highway safety information, visit weather.gov/safety/wind. The latest forecast information can be found on the National Weather Service State College Facebook page and Twitter at NWS State College, or on the web at weather.gov/CTP.
Weather message. What? Flooding caused by excessive rainfall continues. Where? Ohio River at Pittsburgh. When? Until tomorrow afternoon. Impacts. At 18.0 feet, water begins to flow onto the Monongahela parking wharf. At 19.0 feet, water begins to flow onto the North Shore Riverwalk between the stadiums. At 19.5 feet, the Monongahela parking wharf is completely flooded. At 20.0 feet, water is up to 1 foot deep in the lower areas of the North Shore Riverwalk. Additional details. At 11 a.m. Wednesday, the stage was 17.7 feet. Thankful stage is 18.0 feet. Forecast. The river will rise to 19.0 feet just after midnight tonight. It will then fall to 16.8 feet. A second rise is expected starting Saturday morning, cresting near 18.9 feet Sunday evening. Action stage is 18.0 feet. Flood stage is 25.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood.
Flood warning in effect from late tonight until further notice. What? Minor flooding is forecast. Where? Swatara Creek above Middletown. When? From late tonight until further notice. Impacts. At 11.0 feet, minor overbank flooding begins near the Vine Street Bridge downstream to the Susquehanna River. At 12.0 feet, both banks overflow upstream of the Vine Street Bridge and several basements are affected. Additional details. At 8:15 p.m. Wednesday, the stage was 10.0 feet. Forecast. The river will rise above flood stage late tonight to 11.8 feet tomorrow evening. It will then fall below flood stage Friday afternoon to 10.4 feet early Saturday morning. It will then rise above flood stage again late Saturday morning. Flood stage is 11.0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/safety/flood turnaround. Don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be especially cautious at night when it is harder to recognize the dangers of flooding. Additional information is available at www.weather.gov. The next statement will be issued Thursday morning. Here is the latest National Weather Service forecast for Erie, Cumberland, Dauphin, and Lebanon counties.
Did I fucking ask? Did I ask? Did I ask? Did I ask? Did I fucking ask?
Expected. Where? Portions of southwest and western Pennsylvania and northern West Virginia. When? From 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday. Impacts. Damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. Remain in the lower levels of your home during the windstorm and avoid windows. Watch for falling debris and tree limbs. Use caution if you must drive. Please report down trees.
I did not ask for this, you guys.
By calling 412-262-1988, posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page, or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh. This is NOAA Weather Radio KI.
God.
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, operating on 162. Down trees, power lines, or large branches by calling 412-262-1988, posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page, or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh.
Yeah, okay, you definitely pulled that shit out of your ass. Definitely did that.
Weather message. For the following counties in Ohio: Belmont, Carroll, Columbiana, Coshocton, Guernsey, Harrison, Jefferson, Monroe, Muskingum, Noble, and Tuscarawas, and the following counties in Pennsylvania: Allegheny, Armstrong, Beaver, Butler, Clarion, Forest, Greene, Jefferson, Lawrence, Mercer, Van Engel, and Washington, and the following counties in West Virginia: Brooke, Hancock, Marion, Marshall, Monongalia, Ohio, and Wetzel. Wind advisory in effect from 4 p.m. Friday to 1 a.m. Sunday. What? Southwest winds 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour expected. Where? Portions of east central Ohio, northwest, southwest, and western Pennsylvania, and the northern panhandle of West Virginia. When? From 4 p.m. Friday to 1 a.m. Sunday. Impacts: gusty winds will blow around unsecured objects. Tree limbs could be blown down and a few power outages may result. Winds this strong can make driving difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. Use extra caution. Secure outdoor objects. Please report down trees, power lines, or large branches by calling 412-262-1988, posting to the National Weather Service Pittsburgh Facebook page, or using Twitter at NWS Pittsburgh.